All right, everybody. Come on. Yeah. Hey, welcome into another EPLAY Numbers Tell Your Story podcast. I am Jamie Horton with you here again, and we are on, I guess we're on YouTube Live, going strong. Be joined in just a few moments by good friends and colleagues, Alessandra Formica and Brandon Dean, NBA skills trainer, and Ali is our, she's got some international stuff going on for us over at EPLAY. We won't divulge too much into that, but she's also a former professional player, played for the Italian national team and played professionally since she was 13 years old. So we are so happy to have these folks along with us to talk to you guys about what we're doing over at EPLAY. It is an interesting time, certainly around the world right now. Thinking about everybody that's dealing with this global pandemic, just like the rest of us, it's a tough time. For all of us, we're all trying to manage right now. So I'll start with you, Ali. How are you doing right now? How are you doing in quarantine? Are you ready to just get out of the house and just say hi to everybody?
I'm pretty good. I mean, we are lucky that we're still working, so I keep myself busy with e-playing, and I'm still working out. So I try to, stay in shape, go for a run, do some weights. And that's how I spend my days, basically, just working and working out.
Brandon, how about you, man? How are you and the family? How y'all doing? How y'all managing?
We're good. We're good. Usually I'm traveling a lot, so the family time now is crucial. Other than that, I have a lot of virtual training I'm doing, and I actually started training for an Ironman competition end of December. So, that takes up a lot of my time as well.
Well, good. Glad everybody's healthy. Glad everybody's staying busy, because certainly that's a very important thing right now, so that we don't just go crazy and lose our minds. I know the hardest thing for a lot of us right now is that there's no sports. There's no basketball to watch. Right now, I would be gearing up for NBA playoffs, man. I would have just gotten through March Madness and gotten through the college basketball season, and my Mavs were rolling, getting hot at the right time, and it's Luka's second year, and then it all just everything stopped. And so this is the time of year we're all kind of gearing up for basketball playoffs, and it's not there.
I'm so mad.
It's so.
That's my first time in being in the States during the playoffs. Every time I was in Italy, I had to wake up at 4 a.m. just to watch a game. So this year I was like, I can finally have a normal night of sleep and watch the playoffs. And
it's crazy. And so it just stopped so abruptly. But there are some things, and there are still ways for folks to improve their games. Brandon, I'll start with you. You talked about how you've got you got virtual workshops and virtual camps and virtual skills training, things like that. How are folks able to sort of maintain their skills right now, work on their skills, since a lot of folks are encouraging people not to do that, social distancing and otherwise? How are people going about doing this right now in this time?
Yeah, it's pretty tough, actually, and for a lot of people, from the kids even up to the NBA, they don't have hoops at their house. So that eliminates a lot of what you can do. But, what I've been doing is, a lot of ball handling, a lot of film breakdown, and as far as with the performance side, just making sure you're staying in shape. So that we know when that time comes, hopefully soon, you can jump right back into it. And, you're not working on your actual skills as much as far as shooting, but everything else you can pretty much take care of.
Ali, this is unprecedented. This is an unprecedented thing. Nobody's ever had to really kind of work around these sorts of things. But you being not that far removed from playing this game professionally, how would you have approached something like this in terms of improving your game or staying on top of your game or working on new things? How would you have approached it?
Well, it would have been definitely hard, especially if I was overseas, because the situation is worse than here. So players can really not leave their house. So here we are kind of lucky because we can still go and run outside and kind of make the most out of it. So personally, I would definitely follow some, workout plans with some trainers. I will use this time to, work on my game, because during the season it's kind of hard to do it, especially for professionals. There's not a lot of time. We work a lot on the team stuff, so that's definitely a good time for every player to understand what part of the game they're missing, and their weaknesses are, where the weaknesses are, and all this kind of stuff. I would definitely have like a trainer to follow this period of my time.
Kind of like a virtual trainer, kind of like what Brandon's helping a lot
Yeah.
of people too. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
there's a nice marriage there. Again, you're listening to the number and watching the Numbers Tell Your Story podcast. I've got Alessandra Formica and Brandon Dean with us. Brandon Dean, again, an NBA skills trainer, works for with us here at EPLAY. We're going to get to talking about the EPLAY Combine that's coming up and how you guys can be a part of that. And then Alessandra, affectionately goes by Allie around the office. Is our look, we've got some big things going and we don't want to get too crazy into it, but in talking about this subject of improving your game, working on your game, you coming from the European side of things, what are things that you saw, that you see now, that you go, oh man, I wish we would have had that, or we lacked in certain areas in terms of development and things? What sort of things did you learn about development here that you didn't maybe necessarily learn while playing overseas?
Well, definitely, I approach the American development, the players' development. I always, when I was playing, I was spending all my summers here in the States and working out, and basically prepared, my season kind of here, because what really missing there is somebody who works specifically with you. As I said before, during the year, you don't have a lot of time to work on yourself, because the coaches are focused on the team. You work twice a day, morning and afternoon, but it's always about team stuff. So it's hard to even just take a moment and be like, oh, that's what I did good, that's what I did, that's what I cannot do. So the summer is the best time for an athlete to work. The off season is the best time for an athlete to work on their skills. And what it's really missing, and I see here is a big thing, are skills development coaches. Everybody, like people specialize in this, and we don't have this kind of approach on the game at all. During the summer, a lot of players, they prefer just to chill, and rest, because the season is long and we work out a lot during the season. But they don't understand that it's where you can really improve. Like, it's the moment of your season where you can really make the most out of it and push yourself to be better. You can work on your physical skills and technical skills, and like that's the best season to do it. And having somebody who follows you individually, even just showing all the bad parts of your game. People are not, they a lot of times they don't want to face the truth, but that's when you get better. And of course, when I started working with EPLAY, I saw that there's a lot of services that they provide that makes a player better. Because at the end of the day, yes, you get better on the court. You get better based on the amount of time that you spend, that you working out on yourself. But if you have some tools, or not only just a coach, but if you have something else that helps you understand what it's missing, or where you have to get better, or what part of the games you are not strong enough, that will help a player just open his eyes and kind of face the truth, like face the reality. At the end of the day, I mean, we play basketball, especially professionally, of course, to have maximize our hustle, but we need. In Europe, we don't have those kind of tools. We don't have those kind of mentality to get better and better every day, and to use basically every type of services that people that provide for us. They don't even provide it. So that's what I always that's why I wanted to bring this mentality in Europe and help players. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So Brandon, that leads me to you. So in terms of this is what you do. You are a skills trainer. She talked about hard truths. There's a lot of hard truths that sometimes that these folks have to deal with, but there's also more often than not a lot of areas where you can say, "Hey, I can help you get better." How do you do that? How do you approach that right now? And let's talk about you as a skills trainer.
No, definitely. With each player, what I like to do is a SWOT analysis with them. I'll have them make one. Have myself make one. For the people who don't know what a SWOT analysis is, S for strengths, W weaknesses, O opportunities, T threats. So what I do, is I have these players make this so I can kind of see where they feel that their game is, depending upon, what they feel their strengths are, weaknesses, where they think they can be, and what can stop them from getting there. And then what I do is I go back, and I watch every possession, for the past 2 years of this player. And from that, I come up with a SWOT for them. And usually what happens is my SWOT is a little bit different from theirs, and that's where that hard truth comes in where, maybe it's just me being from New Jersey, but I don't sugarcoat things, especially when it comes to training. And, at that point, when they see how far I went into breaking down their SWOT, they know that, this is something they need to get a little bit more serious about. And, it kind of goes with what Ali was saying where, a lot of people, not only do they not use these services, but they don't understand them. So for me as a skills trainer, that's my job to get them to understand, okay, this is where you're weak in your game. This is where you're strong in your game. And my job is to help you turn those weaknesses into strengths. And the main thing with me is I'm a firm believer in, I don't want to be good at a lot of things. I want to be great at few things. And, I try to get my players on to have that same mindset where we're going to lock in on 2, maybe 3 things, for that summer, and we're going to be honing on those to try to turn them into your strengths because, the reality is, especially in the NBA, a lot of these guys are specialists. You have 3-and-D guys, you have, your ball hand, whatever it may be, you have to specialize in something or you're just going to get pushed to the side. So, the main thing I'm doing with these guys over the summer is we need to find your identity. And if you already have one, we need to make sure it stays your identity. So for right now, especially with the way times are right now, it's a lot of that communication and a lot of that film breakdown with these players, just to make sure that, we're all on the same page with where they need to go moving forward.
Again, visiting with Brandon Dean, is NBA skills trainer, and also going to talk about the combine that Brandon is heads up for us here at EPLAY, and also Alessandra Formica, who is I guess she's our international star, man. She's been doing some big things. I guess we could announce that in a way, Ali put us in Europe here recently, so some cool stuff happening there as well. A lot of cool things happening with EPLAY, but this EPLAY Combine, Brandon, I want to talk about that, and then I want you guys to kind of talk to each other about it, but I want to start with you. Let's talk about this EPLAY Combine, what all it entails, and how folks can get involved.
Oh, for sure. So, the idea we had with the EPLAY Combine is to basically recreate the NBA Combine process, but for, high school players. With right now, with the way rankings are, and actually with the recent news where, Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd are just making the jump from high school straight to the G League, it's important that these kids understand what it takes to be at that next level. So, with our combine, we're formatting it to where you're going through your measurements, you're going through your speed and agility testing, the same as they be doing in the NBA combine. And then you also have your on-court skills training. We're doing detailed film breakdown, to teach these kids how to watch film. A lot of kids, when they watch a game, they're only watching the guy with the ball, or at the most, you're getting a kid who understands he needs to watch the guy without the ball. But a lot of these kids don't understand why different plays are being made at different times. And that's what we're trying to do is we're trying to give you the full spectrum of what you need, to be prepared for the next level. And not only are we doing that, but then we're putting you in a tournament setting at this combine where with our EPLAY technology and our analytics, you're going to get scored for everything you do. That way you can see how you compare to each of these other players. Because I know with myself, growing up, if you didn't come from a nice area, a lot of coaches weren't coming to see you. So with this, you can get a kid from Florida, you can get a kid from New Jersey, you can get a kid from California who may not ever get the opportunity to go against each other, that can come together. And, just because this kid, hasn't been seen by coaches, he may have better numbers and may have more production than the kid who's seen every night. So, with this combine, we're giving these kids an opportunity to be seen and be scored off of their production.
I was hoping Ali was going to talk to you right there. So what? No, I would like to get your perspective as a pro, right? As a professional athlete who's done these things, and in obviously your involvement with the combine. I was hoping maybe y'all could kind of discuss some of it, if that would be possible. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think the combine is an opportunity for a player because it's kind of their first approach on the next level of their career, which is high school player going into college or even just going pro. So I think it's something really, really cool. We don't have this kind of stuff in Europe at all. So that was kind of my first approach here, and I'm learning from Brandon every day how this works, because sometimes I'm kind of behind on that. But I love the concept we are coming up with. I love that we are creating something really unique for those players, especially because analytics will be involved, and there's no such a combine like this one that we will plan in the upcoming future. Because I mean we will have NBA coaches coaching those young kids, which is gonna be like a great experience for them. But also we will have services that really will make them understand that what kind of level they are, and what's the next step for them to take. And it's not only showing them what's missing, but it's even helping them and telling them how they're gonna be, what's gonna take for them to be at the next level. So I definitely, I love what we are doing, and it's every time it's something new. Every day we're adding like a new thing into our combine, which is it's so exciting. But Brandon, would you like to explain our new concept about the team combine?
Yeah, definitely. And before going to that, I just want to be clear that there's a lot of combines and a lot of showcases that go on throughout the summer, throughout the year, really all over the country. And what we're doing is completely different. We're about the work, and we're about doing things the right way. And a lot of the combines out there are kind of just for show. Get you some Instagram likes, you can take some pictures and this and that. That's not what we're about. We're about coming in there, getting your work done, and figuring out how you can get better. And then going into the team combine, so for that, a lot of people, in high school, their team ends up going to a team camp. They'll do it at a college university. We're taking that and we're bringing it to the next level. So with that, it's a similar format to our individual combine, but everything is done through your team. So everyone on your team will still go through the same testing that they do at the NBA combine, the measurements, the lane agility, 3/4 court sprint, the whole 9 yards. You still get the on-court training, and then you're also getting team training as well. So we're going to go into some more team concepts, to help your team get better. And then still doing the film breakdown. But, what we're going to do is we're asking teams to send in film that we'll break down prior to the combine. And then when the combine comes, we're going to go over that film with you and basically show you, how teams scout. So, when they look at your film, what do they see? So you can kind of know, what to look for when you're watching film, so that when the game comes, tendencies of yourself, your teammates, and of the other team. And then from there, we go into our tournament format, where it kind of goes back to, what the other team camps are doing, whether, they play a tournament, you have a Final Four, and you end up getting a champion. But from using our EPLAY analytics, we select the top players from that team combine that will be invited to the individual combine. So, not only are you playing for your team to win, but you're playing, to give yourself that opportunity to come and get that one-on-one work with us at following.
Got a quick question for the both of you. And I had, again, visiting with Brandon Dean, NBA skills trainer, and also overseeing our EPLAY Combine that we're discussing right now, Alessandra Formica, who is, she's an international guru. She's got an academy of her own, but she's also a part of this EPLAY Combine. Why are you laughing at me? You don't like my accent? I thought I've been working on it.
No.
That's great.
Because it's so unnatural.
It sounds. I thought it was. I thought I nailed it. But anyway, to get back on track here, so you don't hurt my feelings anymore. So if I'm a player and I get involved with this combine, and I've already, I've heard of EPLAY, I've looked it over. What do I get as a player besides the skills training? Do I get one of these player profiles? How can I get more entrenched in the EPLAY system if I'm a player that's participating in this combine?
Yeah, no, actually, the benefit of coming, to one of our combines is that you have a profile created through EPLAY that is basically, it's a video resume where college coaches can go on, check your video, check your data, check your EPR. And from that, it's a recruiting tool for you. So not only, are you coming to the combine, but you're walking away with an opportunity to be seen by even more coaches.
Yeah, and the point is that we really care about players. Like, we are so attached to players that we don't want just, of course we want them to get better. Like, whoever comes through our program and our combine, they will get better. But we want to give a chance to everybody to be seen. That's why we care about analytics, because we want to tell your story through analytics. And we want to show your value no matter what, because we care about players. And also in the profile, you will get all your videos of your games that we have and the workouts that you did at our combine. So it's definitely a platform that you can use to tell your story, to show your value, and be recruited and be seen from everybody.
Do you think there's an opportunity here for EPLAY and combines like this and the work that EPLAY is doing to essentially create a new generation of basketball player, where this new generation of basketball player is kind of an analytics-centric type of player, where they're using their numbers to improve their games and ultimately, increase the amount of dollars in their contracts someday? Do you see this kind of being something that could create a new type of not a new game, but a new approach to the game?
I see it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. As a player, I can tell that we are not, like, we don't know a lot about analytics. Maybe, of course, in the United States it's different, but we need somebody to teach us how to read those numbers, right? How to use those numbers to make us better. So the cool part of EPLAY is even that, like, you won't walk alone through this path. You will have somebody that beside you will take care of you and all your numbers and all your data and, this profile and resume. You will have somebody that teach you basically how to get the most out of it. And I think it's the coolest part ever because I will basically understand how to make myself better without needing anybody else, just me and ePlay.
No, definitely. And, it's especially important when it comes to the guys who are already in the NBA moving forward. When you're coming up to free agency, if you have an understanding, that last year, before free agency, if you have an understanding of what you need to improve on, I mean, that's millions of dollars that you're either, gaining or missing out on. That, if you're understanding the analytics and you're understanding, exactly your weaknesses, your strengths, you're
Yeah.
you're putting yourself in position to make a lot more money and take care of your family.
So I remember when I got here, I had this interview with Brandon. That was the first time I spoke with him. And he said something that really got me in the interview. So basically, through what we provide with ePlay, and using even having a coach like him, like a skilled personal coach, development coach, that understand those numbers and work with it, you basically, as a player, you don't have to spend $200 per hour to work with somebody who doesn't even know where to take your game or what
Hmm.
kind of player you are. Like you literally have somebody that is studying your game deeply. And as a player, we always want somebody who got our back, somebody who really understands us, somebody, even when we are having the worst season ever, you know, they still want to work with us and let us improve. So that's something that really got me. Like, you don't have to spend those money anymore on somebody who doesn't believe in you or somebody who just
Hmm.
wants to make money from you because you are an NBA player or a pro player. So using
Yeah, and
those numbers for you and having somebody who really believe in this, I think it's something great.
no, definitely. And even to add on that, Ali, with our combine, and it's a part that I left out. Um, I'm currently working on a trainer certification where at our combines there are trainers that will be selected specifically, for the combine that are going to come go through a whole certification process, on court training, classroom training, the whole 9 yards with them, to where when these players leave these combines, we're going to connect them with trainers that we approve of, ones that understand the analytics, ones that can help them, improve where they need to improve. Because right now, and we all know it, you can go on social media and find, 100 different trainers, but not all of them are going to be able to help you on your game. And like Ali said, a lot of them are just trying to make money or, do what looks good for social media. And at the end of the day, it's about the player. And if the player's not getting better, then we're not doing our job. So, that's a huge part of, this combine is not only are we preparing the players, but we're preparing trainers, to help get these players and to help them understand, how to improve their game. And that's where, ePlay comes in, where, the analytics, we're using at ePlay are doing nothing but trying to help.
Again, visiting with Brandon Dean, NBA skills trainer, and heading up our ePlay Combine, Alessandra Formica. I thought that sounded pretty natural. That flowed really well. I kind of nailed, Brandon, I nailed that one, didn't I?
Yeah, that was
It
better.
was
That was
nice.
better.
All right, she's our international guru. She's, again, not to get too crazy about it with you guys right now, but Ali, ePlay was in Europe this week, and hopefully we've got a chance to stay there and grow this thing. But I know we can't really answer this question right now, but it needs to kind of be addressed in terms of the timeline here. None of us know when this thing is going to be over. And when we can actually get back face to face and get folks on basketball courts with other people on basketball courts at the same time. Assuming we have a timeline, what's the first available time that you kind of hope to be able to put this thing together or to have
Hmm.
this go down?
Yeah, we were looking for August. Um, with everything going on now, that may change, but I know that's still the target time. We're looking to do it. That way, it's kind of before the high school season starts, because that's one thing, we're definitely not trying to do, is we're not trying to make this where kids are solely focused on themselves, because at the end of the day, basketball is a team sport. So yes, you have to improve your individual game, but when it's time for your, when it's team time, that's the main focus. And I'm that way with my players as well. At the end of the day, when you get with your team, that's where your focus needs to be. And by doing it in August, we're allowing that, to still be.
Definitely. But since this is we have this situation going on, which we don't have access to any gym right now. We don't have access to. We cannot play basketball anywhere, basically. We decided to start our combine a little bit earlier and help those kids and whoever wanna be part of our team combines through our social media campaign. It's called Oops at Home Challenge. And what we do is providing videos on how those kids can get better about all these drills that we will run at the combine. So specifically will be physical drills, and the more we're going, the more specific will be the drill for the combine.
Yeah, definitely. And, like she's saying, with these drills, you can't necessarily go out and, we're asking you to shoot, corner threes or something like that. Some kids don't have a hoop, but everyone has a driveway or a backyard where they can go and, if we're doing lane agility, just like the combine, we're going to show you through this Hoops at Home challenge, the techniques that need to be done, the same ones that these players are learning at the combine. So you'll be able to do your lane agility, your 3/4 court sprint, your shuttle run, your vertical jump. You'll be able to go through all this just like they do at the combine, but from your own home. And from that, that'll go, and you can link that by tagging Hoops at Home Challenge. You'll be able to link that to your player profile. So then when the time comes, you have that on your profile already, which is only going to help you moving forward when we can get back to actually doing the in-person combine.
Yep, absolutely. Hashtag Hoops at Home Challenge. Right? Remember, Hoops at Home Challenge. One hashtag there. Yeah. Ali?
Yeah. We are basically getting you ready to be part of our combine, so don't miss this opportunity.
Thank you guys for joining me today, you guys, so much, man. Thank you so much. The EPLAY Numbers Tell Your Story podcast. Brandon Dean, NBA skills trainer. Where can they find you on social media, Brandon, if they want to learn more about you?
At coach.bdean. Or you can go to my website, btlhoops.com.
There you go. What about you, Ali? You want to plug away your social media, get some followers?
Yes, of course. So my personal social media is Ali Formi, but I also have my own academy called Grind Sports Academy. We provide individual workouts for professional players. We're running events all over the world. Our first main event will be in Italy next summer, and EPLAY will be part of it. Brandon probably will be part of it. I hope so.
Of course.
So follow my academy, and follow EPLAY, and follow Hoops at Home Challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Thank y'all so much once again for being here, and we're gonna do this again. We got a lot of stuff.
Of course.
We got a lot of stuff on deck. A lot of stuff coming up pretty soon. So this is a great time to be a part of the EPLAY family. So. Appreciate it once again, guys. You want to say bye? Yeah, thanks. All right. I want to remind you guys to continue paying attention to us here on the EPLAY Numbers Tell Your Story podcast. I am Jamie Horton, and again, we're going to have a lot of great content, a lot of great guests throughout this entire process. We've already done 3 or 4 shows already this week, so this is a really awesome time. We invite you to go check out eplaybasketball.com. EPLAY. Numbers Tell Your Story. Thanks again to Brandon Dean and Alessandra Formica. Until next time, stay tuned.